Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Cheryl Arkle.
Jane Tara.
What are you reading? You know how this works.
Mm.
We tell you what we're reading. You tell us what you're reading. And there is so much going on, so many news. But we are going to start with some very sad news, right?
Yeah.
Eric Carle died today. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will know The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That obviously was his most famous. So Eric Carle died earlier today, and what I guess it's Vale Eric Carle.
Left a legacy behind and a book in virtually every house that has kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's some sad news. So we're here with you today. It's Cheryl Arkle, Jane Tara. Hi, everybody. And we just shared the news that Eric Carle died earlier today, the author of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Kylie says, hi, Jane and Cheryl. Hope you're both well. We are really well. There is so much going on here.
God, so busy.
So busy. So welcome, everybody. You know what to do. Well, the first thing I want to talk about, shall I talk about this lovely card we got?
Yeah, that's so nice.
Yes. Yeah. Look, we got this beautiful card from an author, AJ Ganoose, author of
The Girl in the Waltz.
Yes. And it's beautiful. We do get lovely thank you cards from authors, but this one's particularly beautiful. So shall I read some of it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the support. This is thanking us at Better Reading, Jane and I and the whole team. He's been absolutely blown away and really could not be more grateful. He would love to thank Cheryl in particular for the wonderful podcast. He felt so comfortable. You know, when he was recording the podcast, he was a bit nervous to start with.
Debut author.
But anyway, he did say that I was a talented interviewer. It's right there, Jane. But he also says that now this is where he gets all his book recommendations. So that's really lovely.
Yeah. And isn't it nice to get something in the mail?
Love it. Yeah. Well, speaking of hard copy, can we talk about The Australian? Oh, my goodness, God. So every weekend we are in The Australian.
Yep.
I'm trying not to cover your face.
It needs to be covered today,
I know
actually.
that some of you have seen it because you've been talking about it, but it is so wonderful to be talking about books and a lot of books in a print medium. And we'd like to thank Caroline Overington, who is the literary editor of the Weekend Australian, because I think she does a really super job.
It's so great. And now I have it delivered to my house on the weekend, and it's so nice. It's first thing in the morning. You have your paper and a coffee. It's great. Yeah, old school.
So a lot of people are saying rest in peace, Eric. Donna says hi, ladies. Alita says hi. Mary says hi. So Lee says hi, Jane and Cheryl. I'm reading Before You Knew My Name. It's brilliant, and it is. Very Hungry Caterpillar is the first book I remember reading. I loved it so much. That's Tracy. And I think that is a memory for so many of us. Anne Connolly is reading The Paris Library. Brilliant. Tracy is reading Honeybee this week. Donna is reading The Heights by Louise Candlish. Natalie says, sad news about Eric Carle. My son and I read his book many, many times, and he performed the book in prep in his drama class. And it was so wonderful. Oh, what a beautiful story. Kylie, I'm reading The Sanatorium at the moment, but we'll be reading Lovebirds soon.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. Hi, ladies. Just saw that. I'm also reading We Dream by Pamela Cook. It's so good, and I don't want to stop reading it. Mary said she bought the paper just for our section.
That's great.
Mary, thank you. Bianca, hi Bianca. I've just started reading The 7 Lives of Evelyn Hugo. So that's great. So what are you reading? What have you got there? What's happening? Did you say you were listening to an audiobook on the weekend?
I always listen. I'm always listening to. I listen to audiobooks on the way to work in the car, and I generally listen to kind of the B titles that I'm doing. But I was telling you, there's this book, it's called The Science of Happiness, that I'm reading at the moment. I'm just looking at his name, Professor Brendan Kelly. And it's, the principles of the brain and happiness in the brain and everything. So I'm really, really enjoying that. But he actually says in it the unhappiest age is 47.
Oh, really?
And after that, it's like it gets better and better.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. I probably disagree with that because I think my 40s is where I found my feet and was the most happiest.
Yeah, no, I was pretty miserable.
Oh, well, yeah. So it works for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good now, though. Yeah.
All good now. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So Judy's reading Whitbird by Robert Drew. Love Robert Drew. Terry Lee just started All the Birds Singing by Evie Wild. Wow. Do you know I went to see her at the Sydney Writers Festival? She was streamed in and she was magnificent. I really enjoyed it. She was being interviewed by Bree Lee.
Yes,
it was
that's
so
right.
magnificent.
Yeah.
Lee, hi ladies. I'm reading The Last Bookshop by Emma Young. Melissa, I just got a copy of The Woman and the Girls. Can't wait to start. Alita, I'm reading The Wreck by Meg Keneally. Yep. Sally Ann is reading The Jam Queens. We love The Jam Queens.
Yeah.
We love her. Sharon is reading The Jam Queens by Josephine Moon as well. So 2 in a row.
Good.
Jenny's nearly finished The Chase by Candace Fox. Josh, The Last Green Valley by Mark Sullivan. Okay, what are we reading? Well, we are going to be talking more about this book next week, We Were Not Men by Campbell Mattinson. Campbell was going to be joining us today, but Campbell lives in Melbourne, and in light of what's happened down there today, I think they're in lockdown from midnight tonight. So our hearts go out to everybody in Melbourne, including Campbell. So he wasn't able to join us.
Yeah.
But he is Book of the Week next week, and we'll be talking about it more then.
And so did everyone catch the Rachel Johns event?
Oh,
last
wasn't
night?
it brilliant?
So The Art of Keeping Secrets was kind of the book before one of the characters in this, her latest book, How to Mend a Broken Heart. She talked about it all last night, but she's great. She's really authentic, and readers respond to that, and it's such a popular event. If you missed it, go back and check it out.
Yeah, she really is. I recorded a podcast with Yumiko Kadota, Emotional Female. I'm not sure who's read this. I think it's something Bianca might like, if you're still there, Bianca. It is a memoir. It is it's more of a kind. Yes, it's a memoir, I guess, about her experience being a junior doctor and then a surgeon, and how she was bullied to an inch of her life, and that the system itself, there's an expectation to work 90 to 100 hours a week. I mean, I just don't know how you could do that. And
well, they do.
They do.
It's frightening to think that these are the people that we trust when we need a doctor.
Yeah. I mean, it's just astounding. But anyway, great book. And also the podcast is out this week. And truly, she was really beautiful speaker and had a lot to say, and really smart as well.
Yep.
What about you? Go next.
Okay, so
that's another podcast.
The podcast has been released for Madeline Ryan, A Room Called Earth. I know a lot of you have watched or turned up to her event or watched it afterwards. And I know many of you are enjoying the book and now listen to the podcast because she is fabulous.
Yeah, she really is fabulous. Josh is reading The Last Green Valley by Mark Sullivan. Alison says, hi, I'm reading The Family Doctor. Hi, Alison. Catherine reading Jane in Love, unexpectedly really good. Cheryl, great name. Hi from pre-lockdown Victoria. Sorry, Cheryl. I went to the library to add to my stack of TBR books, currently reading Sully by John Grisham. Good book.
I've got to say, actually, we've got that one on audio as well because my son, who is dyslexic and 17, has been listening to that because he's mad about basketball.
Oh, wow.
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
I read this book, but it was a couple of years ago now when I was in Palm Springs, actually. This is the copy that I had in Palm Springs. But I've now decided, because, it was number 1 in the top 100. The top 100 is all online for anybody that wants to have a look at it. But I've gone back to listen to the audio.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought, because it was such a long time ago, and I love audio.
Yeah.
I walk my dog twice a day, so I'm always in the park listening to something. So that's what
Ignoring the dog.
Ignoring the dog,
so
yes. That's right. But with the top 100, I know that some of you are asking, we have all 6 on the website, all 6 in a row to make it easier for you to click on and have a look at year 1 to year 6 to the current list now to compare. But the current list has a PDF list and a checklist and some downloadable assets as well.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, so Mary's reading Spring Clean for the Peach Queen by Sasha Wasley.
Doing well. A lot of people are reading
Tanya is reading Women and the Girls by Laura Bloom, which we have talked about. Linda, A Room Called Earth, is what she's reading, a different book written with such a strong voice. Absolutely.
So go on and listen to the podcast because it's live now. Yeah.
Kerry, just finished The Paris Affair, now reading A Week to Remember. Jane, hi ladies. Hi Jane. First book I bought my son 30 years ago. That was Very Hungry Caterpillar, I imagine. And reading Before You Knew My Name at the moment. Joe, currently reading The Warsaw Orphan. It's slowly breaking my heart, but it's good. Kylie went out today and got 2 of Rachel John's books today, so I'm hoping to
I saw you on the event last night, Kylie, saying, I'm going to go out and get your books now,
Kanina loves audio books.
And we love Kanina's books.
And we love Kanina's books. Yes, the author Kanina, of course. Hello, I'm currently reading, this is Natalie, The Girl at the Back of the Bus by Suzette Harrison. Okay, so many books. All right, what have you been reading?
Girl 11. Okay, so if you're a fan of Karen Slaughter, you'll love this. It's a social worker who has a true crime podcast and sort of uses that. She hunts down a serial killer. And it's very, very polished, dark, and you'll actually pick it up and probably won't put it down because it's a real page turner. Yep.
Lots of people talking about being in their 40s. Tracy was happiest in my 40s too. Tracy, you and I are the same. Winnie's reading Love Objects by Emma Maguire. Kylie, I'm 42, so it can only get better from here, of course.
It does, actually, especially 50. I love 50.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Helen, hi everyone. I'm reading the Jam Queens. Yes, lovely. Tars is reading Shadow Sands by Robert Brinster. Tracy loved the event last night with Rachel. Mary, I know, so terrible about lockdown. Bianca, I finished How to Mend a Broken Heart yesterday. Rachel is a lovely human.
Oh, it's so true. Yeah. She really is. Yeah.
Julietta. Hi, Julietta. She's reading Big Fat Love by Peter Sheridan. Loving it. Victoria Perman. Hi, Victoria.
Oh, they're all on today.
Have to race out with my son for an appointment. Okay, see you next time. Kylie, The Art of Keeping Secrets is hard to get, but I will keep looking for it. Shouldn't be. Should be available. Jane says, yes, I've read Emotional Female. Bianca, who I thought might like it, she's read some of Emotional Female. We'll get back to it when my rage levels are lower. That's exactly right.
Yes, take a deep breath.
Take a really big deep breath. Natalie, about to start reading Let's Roll by Lisa Beamer. Her husband was murdered on one of the planes in 9/11. Oh, that's sad. I'll look out for that book, actually. Kylie, I enjoyed the chat with Rachel Johns. Yeah, lovely. Michelle just finished the Code Breakers, and I'm starting Maya Linnell's Magpie Bend, which comes out next week. Congratulations, Maya.
Very popular.
Jane loved the event with Rachel Johns. Yes, Tracy's saying she started a room called Earth, but wasn't in the right headspace, but she might get back to it.
Definitely get back to it. It is an unusual read. Yeah.
Bianca is so over with the crawdads sing. Well, some people are over it, some people are into it, some people come to it at a different time. Okay, I want to talk about toxic because we have talked about it before, but the podcast is out now. Listen to Richard Flanagan talk about how toxic salmon from Tasmania is. Really, I mean, I got to tell you, it was depressing and really hard going for me, but it's a really good podcast, so have a listen. This is our book of the week. Wow, look at that. Unsheltered by Claire Milletta. It's a thrilling debut set in dystopia Australian society. It's fantastic. It's ravaged by climate change, and a mother must search for her child against all the odds. Now, Jane and I were talking about this and saying there is nothing more urgent, is what you said, than a mother looking for her children.
Yeah, and it's such polished writing, and that urgency kind of drives the whole thing. Yeah.
So that's out now, and that's Book of the Week.
Look at this stunning
gorgeous cover.
Yeah. So Good Indian Daughter by Rui Lee. And speaking of mother-daughter relationships, her parents immigrated to Australia, and so she was raised here, a foot in each of those cultures, and they're Indian. And when she found out she was pregnant with a daughter, this kind of sense of, doom kind of fell over her, and she realized she needed to unpack some baggage very quickly. And so she did. She's gone back into her childhood, written this memoir that is very funny, but also quite heartbreaking, and quite important, actually. And really, I see it as a beautiful love letter to her daughter, who she wants to share all the great aspects of her culture with, but not some of the more difficult aspects of it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful cover as well. Karen, hi, Cheryl and Jane. I previewed We Were Not Men and absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Quite unique. Thanks so much. Kim is reading Sun Sisters, loving Lucinda Riley's Seven Sisters books. And hello to all the people that are joining us via YouTube, as Amanda is.
Yeah.
And Amanda is reading Maggie's Going Nowhere. And the next book to read is The Good Sister. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget, we are on YouTube. Megan is enjoying reading Accidental Feminist by Jane Caro. And Barbara nearly finished The Silent Patient. Wow, what an ending. And I'm not quite there yet. Bianca's, oh no, not another girl book, but she does adore Jane Caro. Lots of girl books, Bianca. Melissa was also, she was happiest in her 30s, not her 40s, with all my babies around me. Oh, that's lovely.
That's really nice. Yeah.
What else have we got? Maybe what have you got next? Oh, the road trip.
The road trip, for those of you who haven't seen this yet, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. Love this cover, and I really like Beth O'Leary. She writes really great stories, sort of along the Marianne Keyes kind of genre. And this one is Addie and her sister are about to embark on an epic road trip to a friend's wedding in rural Scotland. The playlist is planned, and there is a playlist for this book. But not long after setting off, the car slams into the back of theirs, and the driver is Addie's ex. Anyway, it goes on to this great rollicking story and road trip, and it is really, really enjoyable. And
Beth joined us for a Facebook Live a couple of Wednesday nights ago. And don't forget, 8 p.m. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, you'll get to meet an author. And, whether you know the author or not, they're usually great fun, aren't they? Yeah, they're really good. Bianca, she'll listen to the podcast with Toxic. She stopped Toxic. That's the Richard Flanagan. She stopped eating smoked salmon, even though it's her favourite food. And same here. But you know what, Bianca, you can source salmon that's actually been produced ethically. Kaz is reading A Home Like Ours by Fiona Lowe. Kylie tried Big W today for it. Wow, that must be the Rachel Johns. Keep trying. Julietta, hi Julietta. She found the copy of the Crawdads wet and soggy on a park bench the other day, brought it home, dried it out. So you're saving books now. Okay. It was out in the wild and needed a home. That's right. Yeah. So lovely of you to do that. Okay, what else? Oh, do you know what I want to talk about? Did you know yesterday was National Sorry Day, and we thought we would just talk about the fact that we acknowledge that day, and by learning about, what are some of the Australian Indigenous writers out there, or Australian writers. Adam Thompson, Born Into This, which we've talked about. Debisa by Cindy Solonek, who I know so many of you have read and loved, and Anita Heiss. And so we just want to mark our respects, I guess, to the Indigenous people of this country and say we're sorry. And that was yesterday, National Sorry Day. But so much good writing out there. So if you want to learn about Aboriginal stories and Aboriginal culture, there's so many books, and we're talking about them all the time anyway. All right, Nerida just finished Stillwater Creek by Alison Booth. So what else have we got? What have you got? Well, we have an event next week with TJ Newman, and we do. Yes, and Dervla McTiernan is going to interview TJ. This new book, or I think it's TJ's debut, is utterly terrifying. And you know how I like to put them out in the car. This one, it's great. Everyone in the office has read it. I have it now. I'll read it here. I don't know whether I can take it home because it frightens me so much. The film rights have sold. It's sold in major territories all around the world. We're going to be hearing so much about this terrifying premise of basically you've just boarded a flight to New York. There are 143 other passengers aboard. What you don't know is 30 minutes before the flight, your pilot's family was kidnapped. And for his family to live, everyone in the plane must die. Okay. Well,
terrifying.
Okay. Well, and when is that event?
Friday. Next Friday.
Next Friday.
4th.
4th at 12 o'clock. Christine read Sweet, Sweet Revenge Limited by Jonas Johannesson.
It's an unusual book, really
It
great.
is. Same author of The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. She enjoyed it. It's fun and easy read. Bianca did read Road Trip, not as enjoyable as a Switch or Flat Chair, but still very readable. Okay, what else have we got? What have we got? Meryl is reading Promise by Tony Kavanagh. What have we got?
Just finished Falling.
Such there we go. Such an edge of the seat book. And somebody says, don't read it
on a plane.
On a plane. Barbara says, regarding Sorry Day, I read My Place by Sally Morgan years ago. Heartbreaking. That's another good one as well. Bianca says, don't read that Falling on a plane.
I'm meant to get on a plane in a week, and I think I might just wait until after that.
So Bianca wasn't aware of Debisa, but you've got to read it because it's really good. And I've been meaning to read the Anita Huss for a while. Well, do read it because it's so fantastic. I went to the launch a couple of weeks ago and I had such a fun time. We went to Gundagai, actually. Okay, well, that's it from us. I think we're done today. What do we need to tell you? Don't forget Facebook Lives, Wednesday at 8 p.m. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. We love you all, and we will see you next week. Keep reading, keep talking, and see you next time.
See you next time.